here in the studio, promoter Frank Warren and also Joyce. Are you right there, Joe?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was just trying not to burp on live.
Great introduction already. Fabulous. How are you both?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
I'm good. You good? Yeah, we're good. We're good, Natalie. Thank you.
Now, I know the announcement has been made, but why don't you reveal to us right now here on talkSPORT what's happened today?
Right, the rematch.
Yes.
Mr. Zhang's coming over. He's the WBO interim champion.
Exactly.
He beat Joe. The fight was stopped few months ago in the 6th round by the doctors. We had a bad eye injury, so we've made the rematch. Joe called for it, as he could do under his contract, and it's now on the 23rd of September at the OVO Arena at Wembley, and we're just really looking forward to it. This is a real proper fight. This is the guy who's fighting heavyweights who are well ranked, and he was number 2, wasn't he, the first time you fought him? Yeah. So he steps up to fight anybody. He's the fellas that have been avoided by the likes of Anthony Joshua. Didn't want to fight him, but as I say, Joe's a true warrior. So this is a tough fight for him. It's a tough fight. He knows that. He's got to change his style for the next fight in a big way, but he's capable of doing that, and I think there's going to be a cracking fight on the night.
Obviously, that was your first pro defeat, that first fight with Zhang. What do you think you've learnt from that you can take into this rematch?
Like the stuff that I need to correct in camp, and yeah, I've taken losses in amateurs, but it is as a professional, it's different. It is a different feeling. There's a lot more on the line, and it's a bit of a pitfall. So it's about getting back and rebuilding and overcoming an obstacle, a challenge in Zhang. And it's tough. It's quite tough. Like when you win, you're like, it's a good feeling, everyone's behind you and stuff. But when you lose, and it kind of drops a bit, and it's quite tough pill to swallow. And like I feel the disappointment and stuff from people, and it just I prefer to win.
It's not a nice feeling, that losing feeling. I'm sure it's not. But you mentioned about your camp and how you want to approach that differently. Were you not prepared in the right way?
Nah, just small things that just need to be like, it's just like small little improvements here and there, and like the game plan and tactics, and also myself, like my physical body. I need to like be stronger and a bit more head movement, and maybe footwork and defense. Like just small, like bits. But I think in the fight, like watching it back, and especially with the there was some AI scoring system thing that I watched that was quite interesting to see how many punches I threw and landed and stuff. And it kind of made me feel a little bit more confident, like going back in. So but I thought if I'd have gone to the later rounds, I could have taken him anyway. It was only kind of the eye that it's kind of full stop. I didn't the eye was swollen, so the referee looked at it. I could still see his fingers, but like he called it there, and I was probably saved from myself, like, because I wanted to carry on.
Simon, what do you make of the rematch? Excited for it?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't like the fight for him as a rematch. I was surprised in the first fight. I didn't like the build up for the first fight, Joe. I didn't like the narrative that you seem to be playing down the route that your granite chin will get you out of everything. And
I didn't like it either, to be honest.
No, because it was the narrative that was being peddled out about how hard you could be hit, and eventually, if you keep on getting hit that hard, it's going to even you. And I've seen you get hit hard, and know what you can take. I was surprised at the size of you when you came into that particular fight, because I'm always used to watching you come in and being the Goliath in the ring. Now, obviously, he's a big fella, but you look much lighter in that fight, and I kind of didn't understand the thinking behind that.
It wasn't planned or anything at all. It's just I was eating as normal and training as normal.
You were lighter though, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Stone
disciplined,
lighter.
and but normally it's like I needed to be lighter. Like I was too heavy for Parker, because like my optimum weight was actually lower than that, so I came in heavy. So if I'd won the fight, would we be talking about my weight?
No, you'd be talking about a lot of different things, but that's irrelevant, isn't it? But because you didn't, and so my concern, my patronage is with you. I want you to be successful. I like you as a fella. Obviously, I like Frank. I like Adam morally. I want to see you be getting all the rewards that you deserve from boxing. I just worry about you going back into this fight. Maybe it's not my business to worry, but I'm being asked an opinion. And I would have preferred you to have gone away, rebuilt somewhere else, let someone else take care of Zhang, and you get what's left of him at a later stage if you felt the need to do it. Now, I know that the reality of getting back your WBO mandatory position was a key component of this. I'm just very curious to see, and I know you're not going to give me a game plan, what you do differently in this fight, because everything about the fight to me looked wrong. You look so much slower than him. I was surprised at how quicker he looked than you. I know you're easy to hit, and I don't like that for you, but that's part of your style. And you didn't seem to have any effectivity with what you hit him with. So it worries me. I know it sounds bleeding negative, man. You don't need that, but I've got to be blunt.
Tell me about it. I'm the one who has to get back in the ring with him.
Exactly.
But it was just, remember, he hadn't fought a southpaw for a long, long time. So, very early on in the fight, he was getting caught, as you say, with those shots. And the eye injury happened very early on in the fight. It was swelling. And if you can't see out your eye, then you basically, all your judgment, everything's getting thrown at you. So he suffered from that, and at the end of the day, the doctor stopped the fight, and he didn't stop it. It wasn't like he was knocked out or anything. He got stopped on the eye injury. And of course he's got to change his tactics. He knows that better than anybody. But if he can't change his tactics, it's all over. If he can change them, which I believe he can, then he's back in the driving seat, and that's entirely up to him and the training team to make sure that happens. I take my hat off to him for going straight back in.
Absolutely.
He's going straight back in there.
A lot of people don't.
It's another, just under 3 months before the fight takes place. So it'll be quite an intensive training camp to get preparation for him. But Zhang's a big, tough guy. He's a big one. He's a big faster than people think he is, exactly. And, what you've got to take, again, I keep using the phrase, take your hat off. You've got to take your hat off to Joe. He was number 2. He was the number 2 rated to Joe. He took the fight. No messing about, no ducking. Yeah, he's the number 2. That's who I'm going to fight. And went straight for the fight. Whereas you look at when he was in the same camp or the same promotional outfit, Zhang as Joshua, they won't go near him.
Were you surprised by him, Joe? Were you surprised by what you encountered when you got in the ring? Because you were very confident when you went up to it, and so you should be, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? But were you surprised with what you encountered? Yeah,
I was surprised how quick he was. And it's like the first round, it felt like time was slowed down, because I was like, well, if I don't initiate an attack, we're just going to be looking at each other for the whole first round. But it didn't look like that watching it back, but that's how it felt. Yeah. And he was just waiting for me to throw shots and then just picking me off with the counters, very fast straight lefts, straight down the pipe, hit me in my eye, and then started closing it up. And I started losing a bit of vision and stuff. But he was so fast, so accurate, and he just patient to just wait for me to to come in, and he would just wallop me with the counters.
Because I went to the Dubois fight and saw you in that fight, and I went to this fight as well, obviously, and seen you and I went to the Parker fight, and you were outstanding against Parker, and of course a lot of momentum built behind you. So that was I want you to understand, I'm not trying to get under your skin and be clever with you. I'm trying to give an honest answer to my concerns for you, because I want you to be successful.
If Simon says he likes you, that's a good thing. That's how we look at
Thanks,
this.
Simon. I like you.
Because there's a lot of people he doesn't like. So we're on a good win
here. This could be the start of something.
I'll tell you what's great though is
romantic music.
Maybe you can do that way. I love the honesty from you already. That's what we're getting from this conversation. We're going to carry it on after the break. But just to reiterate then, the rematch is on September the 23rd at Wembley. It is Joyce against Zhang. It is one to look forward to, certainly. This is talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.